Okay, Adam Trigger here. It is Friday. It's time for Major League Baseball free picks. No video yesterday, but that's because we did total bases and covered all three games. Free pick winner yesterday on the Mariners. The previous 2 days on the video, we split the free picks 1-1 right down the middle. So hopefully we've got a 2-0 here for you today. Let's start things off at Fenway Park. Astros, Red Sox, two teams that were active at the trade deadline. I don't think the Red Sox made the moves that their fans necessarily wanted them to make, but filled a couple of needs, and the Astros did as well. Namely the offense. The Astros have not hit the ball well of late. They have had lineup issues really all season. Yordan Alvarez going down back in May. Isaac Paredes will be out considerable time. He'll easily miss the rest of the year. But the Astros went out, got Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. They're going to get Jeremy Pena back. They went out and got Carlos Correa. Not sure if they'll be in the lineup here, but you'd certainly think they would get them in as quickly as possible. So no question that the Astros improved in that regard. Do I think they've improved to the point where they're going to win the AL West? No. I still like the Mariners. I still think the Rangers have some upside there as well, but can't discount the fact that the Astros sort of did what they needed to do at the trade deadline from an offensive standpoint, and then they're going to get guys like Pena back, which will certainly help the cause. The Red Sox, again, I will go back to the Devers trade. I think it was a little bit of like getting some people out to make room for guys like Marcelo Mayer, Roman Anthony, to play regularly. They went out and moved Blaze Jordan to the Cardinals. They'll get back a reliever for him. They got Dustin May. I don't think it's the starter that, the Red Sox fans wanted, but certainly can help there. So I still think they're definitely in the mix. I actually think these two teams are very similar in terms of like where they're going to fall in the race in the American League. But as far as this game is concerned, you got to like the Astros here, in my opinion. I talked about the pitching situation for the Red Sox on total basis earlier, and I said I thought it would be Cooper Criswell, and it looks like it's going to be the case. He's a guy that he's bounced back and forth between AAA and the majors this year, but at the big league level, he's been mostly a reliever. I think maybe one start. I don't think he was able to go particularly deep. Off of memory, I think it was the Yankees game that he started, maybe lasted 3 innings or so. He's been very good at AAA for the most part this year. Now, I went to a Syracuse Mets game the other day, and he got rocked a couple weeks ago, but for the most part, he's been okay as a starter at AAA. I pointed out that like once this got announced, the Astros would probably take money, and they have. So if you watch total bases, I kind of suggested the Astros what would be the way I would lean in this game when it was like minus 139, minus 140. And Criswell did get announced, and the Astros, in fact, it did take money, as they should with Hunter Brown on the mound here. Hunter Brown is still very much elite. Yes, he had a little bit of a lull in July. I felt like he started to get fatigued prior to the All-Star break when he got knocked around a little bit. But make no mistake about it, he's probably not gonna win the AL Cy Young Award this year, like many thought he had the chance to with how good of a start he got off to in April and May. But he is certainly still one of the top starting pitchers in the American League, probably in all of baseball. And yeah, the numbers have just been phenomenal. He's got a whip of 1, even with his recent struggles. Full season whip is 1, ERA 2.54. All of the expected ERA numbers are right in line with that. He gets great swing and miss, high strikeout rate. He doesn't give up a ton of hard contact. He's as good of a starting pitcher really as you're going to find. Outside of that, I have him in that category. Maybe he doesn't win a Cy Young this year, like Skubal or Crochet obviously are the guys that are sort of competing for it. But Brown belongs in that conversation with them. And now he's got theoretically, I haven't seen the Astros lineup yet, but you got to think Pena's probably back. He rehabbed down at Sugarland earlier this week. So you've got to think he's probably very close to coming back. And I don't see why they don't throw one of these position players in the lineup if they're ready to go. Like, why would you not just, Correa would have been playing for the Twins, or Sanchez probably would have been in the lineup for the Marlins. So why would you not just put them in the lineup as soon as possible? So I think the Astros will have a much better looking lineup than they did the past couple weeks. And they've got their ace on the mound here. So yeah, it's a road game. Of course, the Red Sox are definitely in the mix. But I think you have to like the Astros, and there's a pretty big pitching disparity here because Hunter Brown truly is elite. And for whatever reason, I don't think he always gets treated as such by the odds makers. So Astros -1, even now, even -145, I think is very, very good value. And I think they find a way to get the win tonight. As you see on the bottom scroll there, I'll have at least one 4%er. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to play both these games, one of them. I'm definitely going to play at least one. So what I will likely do is package them. So right now on my pages, depending on when you see this video, you might not see anything, but I will have a 4%er up. And I've decided if I play them both, I'm just going to put them in a package together. So whatever package I put up there will contain anything I'm going to do in Major League Baseball for today. So check that out at wt.buzz/AT. We've also got a great long-term special that I believe just went live today that basically gets you the entire month. And it is it's 13 weeks of action for the price of 2 months. So it pretty much is it's a buy whatever that is. I think it's like you get a month free, something like that, and then maybe the rest of it's a good deal. I should have probably researched that before I got on here, but at any rate, it's a very big discount, and especially going into the football season, the volume you'll get in return for that is very good. So check that out on the website, wt.buzz/AT. All right, let's talk Dodgers Rays. Interesting. The Rays are 4 games out of a wild card spot, but they're selling off some pieces. But don't let that fool you. That's just what the Rays do. This organization is always looking at next year. It's really how the Rays have been able to be good for as long as they've been good and have been in the mix. Like they don't go all in on one season because they set up their sort of organization to, be in the mix on an annual basis. So on a year like this, just because they're 4 games out of the wild card race and they maybe are moving a guy that could have potentially helped them out does not mean that they're not still like in the mix here. It doesn't mean that they're not like they're giving up on the season. It just means that they're prioritizing making sure that their team is in a good spot for next year as well. And if that means trading a guy like Paul Gervais over to the Dodgers, then so be it. But I think they're able to get away with this because they have such good organizational depth. There's a lot of guys that have been down at Durham this year that are not all that different than the position players that have been playing pretty much every day for the Rays. So you talk about, a guy leaving that lineup, the shortstop, his name is escaping right now, Caballero or whoever it is, taking him out of the mix. And, you've got like 3 or 4 guys in Durham that all really are deserving of a shot right now. And then you've also been without Palacios, DeLuca have been hurt this year. They're either back or coming back very soon. So again, I don't think you're going to get a drastically different Rays team going forward. I think it's going to be a very similar team to the one they've had on the field all year, and they'll probably be in the mix right on the fringes of that AL wildcard race where they are right now, 4 games back. The Dodgers went out, so they actually completed a trade with the Rays. They grabbed Paul Gervais, who I think will go into their bullpen right away. He's been down at AAA for the Rays, but I think the Dodgers are going to take a shot on him right away because they do need the bullpen arms. And again, I don't think the Dodgers are drastically different prior to what they were before the trade deadline either, but the Dodgers are still a very, very good team. Now, I had the Rays on my short list today. The Rays took some serious money since we did the total basis show, because I had Rays plus 1.5 was like -128 or -130. I was giving that a thought. That has quickly shot up to -150. Really can't play that way at this point. But because we laid a little bit of juice with the Astros in the first free pick, I'll go with a little bit of plus money here. Instead of looking at the plus 1.5, I'll just take the Rays on the money line. Again, it's a couple things here. One, Clayton Kershaw. I still think you have to pay for the name a little bit. If you look at the underlying and his numbers on a small sample, well, it's not a terribly small sample, but I think you're looking at about 12 starts right now. They're solid, but the underlying metrics suggest that he really should be worse than where he's been able to get. I mean, aside from limiting some hard, he really hasn't limited hard contact. Actually, he's been able to keep the ball on the ground, but a lot of them are hard hit balls. He's not getting swing and miss at all. Not like he did earlier in his career. And his fastball is 89, 90 at this point. So when you look at, if I was to cover the name and just show you like Kershaw's StatCast underlying metrics page against other pitchers of a lesser caliber, Kershaw would have the worst numbers underlying in many of those scenarios. And I think, Shane Baz, who's going to go here for the Rays, he's had his issues this year as well. His stats don't jump off the page, but I just think there's more to like about Baz, and there's a little bit more upside with him going forward. He's still got the big 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. He still has like stuff that I think he could potentially turn a corner, especially if he's really sort of getting the command of that fastball down, which at times this year he's been able to do. So again, I think you've got, and the final piece, which I don't think this is going to happen, but I think it's worth pointing out. Shohei Ohtani got hurt pitching on Wednesday. Now, he stayed in the game for his at-bats, had the day off yesterday. I'm sure the thought is that he'll be in his normal spot at the DH in this game, but maybe he won't be. I mean, if there was ever a day to sort of give Ohtani an extra day, this would be it. He had the day off yesterday. They're on the road. It is absolutely not a do or die game for the Dodgers. They still have a 3-game lead on the division. So, like, Ohtani not in the lineup tonight would not be the end of the world for the Dodgers. And again, would just be, maybe that's a little bit of why the Rays have taken some early money. It's possible. But even if he's in there, he still has the hip was bad enough where he had to, the hip cramp or whatever he had was bad enough where he had to come out of the game from a pitching standpoint. I don't think that can be overlooked. So again, I just think Baz, more upside than Kershaw, better stuff than Kershaw right now. The Rays have not drastically changed as a team, and they've got the Dodgers at home here, which should be exciting for them, get one of the bigger names to come into town. I know that the attendance has been a little bit better at Steinbrenner, but these are typically the games that the Rays have had some juice in the ballpark over the past few years when some of the bigger names come to town, and it doesn't get bigger than the Dodgers from a name standpoint. So I think the Rays will be ready to go. I think Baz, if he has his good stuff here, will have them in position to win this game. And so I'll go Rays on the money line for the second free pick. So 2 free picks from me: Astros money line, Rays money line. I'm going to have at least 1 4%er, but the better special is that 2-month special. So head on over to my page at WagerTalk, wt.buzz/AT, and check that special out. We'll have plays up throughout the day. Good luck, everyone. Hope you all cash your tickets. I'll be back here tomorrow for at least one free MLB pick. We'll throw a video up for Saturday. But good luck tonight. We'll see you guys in the morning.